What's up, everybody? And today we're checking out Abrams and Leopard versus Russian tank T-90M, Western tanks in the Ukraine war. This is by United24. Phenomenal YouTube channel here on YouTube. They have the best footage when it comes to combat footage out in Ukraine. I love watching the tank videos and kind of hearing the dialogue over the top and seeing the tactics play out on the screen, which is something that we've had military footage before with other wars, but this Ukraine war, for the first time, we're getting insane footage. So shout out to United24. I will leave a link down below to their stuff. Please go over there, give it some love. They're always trying to raise money for the big fight out there. So there'll be links down below for everything, okay? Shout out to United24 for putting in the hard work. You guys are absolutely fantastic. Before we get started, though, listen, okay. I get it. People are like, you're always talking about Chug. I get it. I have been on YouTube now for like, what, over 5 years? And I think I've had 5 to 7 sponsors, and all of them sponsors have been 1 or 2 shout outs here or there, or maybe 1 video. I have been sponsored with Chug now for nearly 3/4 of a year. There's a reason for it. I don't like talking about products unless I genuinely wholehearted believe in them. And this is one of them, right? This is one of them. Handmade here in the UK by a small business. Unbelievable. Using sustainable materials, keeping your drink cold for a long time. 10% off, link down below. Free customization, free bag. If you're like me and you're fed up of buying shit from... Am I allowed to swear? Oh, it's past the minute mark. I'm good. If you're buying stuff from like Tesco's in the UK or Walmart if you're in America, them cups might last you a few years. They might. Maybe not. They might be covered in different types of, you know, chemicals and stuff that are not good for you. This, on the other hand, will last you a lifetime if you look after it. It really will. It is a solid bit of kit. I can't show you the inside because I've got me drinking it. It's a solid bit of kit, and it'll last you a long, long time if you look after it. Shout out to Chug for being absolute legends. They ship to America as well. Also, before we get started, I've got to give a shout out to my business, Morale. Go follow the Instagram. Let me give a shout out to all the people who followed the Instagram recently. I'm trying to get the Instagram to 1,000 followers. So shout out to Bravo Meese. Is that how you say it? Happy Stoke, Polly Bose, Skult's Guitar. Let's have a look here. Nickname. If you want your name shouted out, nickname. If you want your name or Instagram shouted out, go follow the Instagram right here. You can scan that. And latest updates for Morale. The clothing is here. If you back the Kickstarter, all your clothing is in the other room over here. We're going to be shipping that out as soon as we get the drinks. The first drinks are going through the factory on the 25th of August. All right? So these cans are going to get filled on the 25th of August. I will get them cans a handful of days after that, once they've all gone through the process, the first batch, and it gets delivered here to this place. Then I'm going to start packing it up and sending it to you guys. Okay? So if you want to be part of the movement, follow the Instagram, sign up on the website so you can find out when all this gear is getting released to the general public as well, because it will be very soon. All right, guys and girls. Other than that, let's pull this up. Let's watch this. Let me turn subtitles on, and let's watch some Ukrainians be absolute legends. Ukrainians.
Have you ever seen the Leopard and the Abrams in battle? This Abrams rolled out to destroy an enemy stronghold. And this Leopard is hunting 2 Russian tanks and crushing them.
I still believe, I said this in the last video, I love United24, but the voiceover's too energetic for what I think is a serious video. I think it should have more of a serious tone to it. I actually might email United24 and see if we can help out with that. Although this video is like 3 months old, so they might have changed it by now.
A Russian tank tries to escape from the pursuit of Ukrainian drones.
Boom.
But it fails. Today, we'll show you what Western tanks are capable of and compare them with the flagship of the Russian army, the T-90M. Don't forget to subscribe. This is going to be interesting.
Let's have a look.
Ukrainians have spotted a massive convoy of Russian armored vehicles.
What is this drone footage? That's really difficult to see that, isn't it? 9 vehicles right there. That's a substantial amount right there. Zoom 37.8 times magnification.
Nearby, there were 2 Leopard tanks. They lock on and attack the convoy.
Boom.
The first tank dries over anti-personnel mines, and the Leopard hits the second one. Instant detonation.
That's going to be a common thing in here, hitting mines, I guarantee
Another
it.
shot. A perfect hit on the APC.
Oh, shit, what a shot.
The German tank starts shooting targets like it's at a shooting range.
Wait, did that just go right through that then? Let me go back.
The German
This one. Watch this shot here. We're talking about the one at the back here. Does this round go right through? Does it pass right through?
German tank starts shooting targets like it's at a shooting range. Shot after shot, and the potential of the Russian assault fades.
Oh my days.
The tank tries to retreat and takes a hit to the rear. The scared infantry abandons the APCs.
Yeah.
But not everyone.
At what point do you start like saying, all right, let's abandon this vehicle and let's get in the tree line, otherwise we're just sitting up? Like, as a thinking soldier, as someone who's in the Royal Marines Commandos, you've got to get to a point where you're like, lads, we're sitting ducks, get out, get to the tree line. If we can save the vehicle later, we will, but we've got to sort ourselves out first. Like, there's got to be a point. Like, I understand tankies. I'm not a tanky, right? And I know some tankies that are like ride or die. Their vehicle is a member of their squad. And if that, the vehicle is everything, right? I get it. People who, people in the Navy, officers in the Navy are the same, captains in the Navy are the same. Their vessel is everything. I get it. As someone who is boots on the ground, who was boots on the ground, that's not my interest. My interest is the lads next to me. And if I'm in that tank and the tank in front of me and the tank in front of that are getting absolutely smashed and we're next, I'd be like, lads, get the fuck out of this tank. Let's get to that tree line and let's do something about it so that maybe we can save the tank, but more importantly, we can save our lads. That's how I would think, but I understand tankies are different, aren't they? Let me know what you think in the comments.
Retreats. The APCs move into the settlement. The enemy disembarks infantry and retreats. The Leopard maneuvers and fires. The first
Boom.
hit. The second.
Jesus.
The Leopard finishes off the damaged APC.
Wow.
The second target. A devastating blow. Now it's the turn of the infantry, who have occupied several buildings.
By the way, quick shout out. Yesterday we did the live stream where we watched the Battlefield 6 gameplay. It looks fucking sick. If you want to watch me play that game, I should be playing it next week on the beta, next Thursday. So turn on notifications, turn on subscribe, turn on notifications and all that stuff so you can watch me play it. And maybe we'll get some tank footage on Battlefield 6.
The tank gets close and fires. With each shot, the chances of the infantry decrease. After hitting the target, the tank turns and rushes to the next building.
Yeah, that's not fun, is it?
Inside this building is an enemy platoon. As you can see, the Leopard is right up close. The tank uses a special HE round to increase damage. It circles the building and fires several more control shots. Mission accomplished. Let's move on to the next one.
It's a smoke damage there. The smoke is unreal from the damage,
Russian
isn't it?
tanks are moving across the field. A Ukrainian Leopard tank is watching them. Now, it moves to the most advantageous firing position.
Look at that! Beast!
It stops and aims its gun. With a perfect shot, the Leopard hits the enemy. Another shot.
My God.
Another hit. The assault is halted.
Thing is, even if they broke out of the vehicle here and started trying to head to some sort of... Look, there's no cover. Look at it. They're in the middle of a field. And that field's probably absolutely... If you get off that path, that field's probably littered with mines. What do you do? What do you do?
The crew of this tank received information that 2 Russian tanks are advancing a few kilometers away. They accept the challenge and move to their positions. When the Leopard arrives at the site, there is a distance of 1.5 kilometers between it and the enemy. The tank aims the gun and fires. A perfect hit. The enemy properly assesses the situation and retreats from the battlefield. Have you noticed how often enemy tanks explode after just the first hit? In such cases, the chances of a successful outcome are minimal, unlike Western tanks. Here's an example from the enemy's side. 2 Ukrainian Leopard tanks are moving down the road. One of them is hit by the enemy.
Oh, shit. It's not often you see that on these videos, Ukrainians getting hit. My God. It's not often you see that, because obviously this footage is going to be biased, right? We know that Ukrainians getting hit as well. We know that. You don't often see it.
It looks pretty grim,
Oof.
but that's actually not the case.
It's not.
The fire you see here is the ignition of the ammunition, and it's a controlled process. In the following frames, we see how the entire crew of the Ukrainian tank evacuates from the battlefield. Here is another example. The damaged Leopard tank evacuated the crew from the battlefield and stopped. It rotates its turret, which means the fire control systems are functioning. The ammunition catches fire, but notice how the crew evacuates the vehicle.
Interesting.
There's not the slightest hint that any of them are injured.
So this is an SOP then. Interesting.
In this video, you
That
can
is really
clearly
interesting.
see the difference in the level of crew protection between Russian and Western tanks.
My God, that's terrifying. But yeah, that's an interesting SOP then that we've just found for the first time here, or at least I've just learned for the first time, that there are SOPs for when they get hit in that instance, and the tank also has an SOP for that type of instance, and they are just abandoning the vehicles if it does get hit. It seems like the Russians are just going to stay in the vehicle until it's completely destroyed and they're killed.
Don't forget to subscribe. The enemy is hiding in this building. The Ukrainian Abrams tank received the coordinates. The tank aims the gun, a shot.
How fast can an Abrams go? How fast can an Abrams tank go? Let me Google it. How fast can an Abrams tank move? How fast? Max speed on a road 42 mile an hour, off-road 30 mile an hour, reverse speed 25 mile an hour, 1,500 horsepower gas turbine engine. Jesus Christ. So they're relatively quick.
A perfect hit.
For a tank.
Another one, and the building is destroyed. This is the assault on the enemy's settlement. A Bradley enters first and opens continuous fire.
Might be my new favorite vehicle, the Bradley.
Its task is to suppress the resistance. An Abrams joins in. It attacks the buildings where the enemy is spotted.
Jesus.
The Abrams methodically destroys the enemy positions. Now here is what timely support looks like. The settlement under assault by the enemy.
Oh, wow.
And here is an enemy tank trying to knock out the Ukrainian forces defending in one of the buildings. The Russian tank, however, makes a grave mistake. It didn't notice that the Bradley had arrived to provide support. It turned towards the American APC with its most vulnerable side.
Them Bradleys.
And here, you can clearly see how the Bradley hits it.
Oh my God, the rate of fire there.
Vulnerable side. And here, you can clearly see how the Bradley
Holy
hits it.
Shit. Them Bradleys are sick
APC
out there.
continues to fire at the target, gradually switching to nearby buildings.
My days.
The tank is disabled. The Ukrainian soldiers are saved, and the enemy retreats.
Them Bradleys are insane.
Another duel between the old Bradley and the modern Russian BTR-82A. We can see that the BTR notices the Bradley and opens fire first. The response did not take long. See those flashes? Those are Bradley hits. The vehicle is almost charging, but the Russian BTR swerves off the Bradley's path.
Wow, they really did just go straight past each other.
The duel is over. Judging by these frames, the Russian BTR was utterly defeated.
Yeah, they got out of the vehicle there. They started running then.
Village of Stepov, Donetsk region. A Bradley closes in on the Russian T-90M tank. A decision is made to regroup and assess the situation. The APC retreats.
Whoa! God, look at the buildings. That was a town. Look at it. It's insane what war does, isn't it? It's heartbreaking.
Second Bradley accepts the challenge, a huge risk and low chances of success. It drives into a duel with a Russian tank. Once on the firing line,
confidence.
it attacks the enemy.
Whoa.
The Bradley succeeds in disabling the navigation and targeting system.
That rate of fire is genuinely insane. Watch that. These Bradleys, that's it. They're my favorite. They're my favorite vehicle. They're just sick. Watch this rate of fire. What are you even going to do? Even if it's not penetrating the vehicle, the constant hit. The constant hitting. A little sus that, Luke, isn't it? It's just so disorientating. But the rounds are going through it. You're seeing them come out the other end where it says Zoom 1.0 at the top. It's hitting the ground up there, look. Watch.
The Bradley succeeds in disabling the navigation and targeting systems.
Oh my god.
The Russian tank is blinded and deafened. It is disoriented.
Yeah, might as well just call it quits there, aren't you? Them Bradleys
The
are
Ukrainian
unreal.
APC retreats. Take a look at what happens to the Russian tank.
Oh,
it
shit.
uncontrollably spins its turret.
Yeah, it's done. Either that or the driver inside's absolutely done for.
After driving a little, it crashes into a tree. The duel has been lost.
Wow. Wow. Them Bradleys are
And
unbelievable.
now, the T-90M, the flagship of Russian tanks. Let's see how well it handles modern challenges. The first thing to note here is the frequent ignition of the ammunition upon damage.
Jeez.
A
That'll
Ukrainian
hurt in the
FPV
morning.
drone approaches the target. The operator directs it into the open hatch.
The skill on driving them drones
The
is...
drone explodes right in the hatch.
Wow.
This is all it takes to ignite the ammunition. The flames violently burst through the turret and the driver's hatch. Here is another abandoned T-90M tank.
So they're just getting rid of the equipment. It makes sense because if Russians saw that and were like, hey, shit, maybe we can go back there and get that, it might help us out a bit. Meanwhile, all it costs is one small little FPV drone to destroy a tank that's hundreds of millions of dollars worth of kit.
Operator attempts the same trick as the previous tank. Let's follow the drone.
It's looking. It's looking. Boom. There you go.
In the replay, we can clearly see columns of fire coming from two hatches on the turret, the driver's hatch, and even the barrel of the tank. In this case, the crew's chances
Oh, yeah, it's coming out the
were
barrel.
basically zero.
Yeah, there's
This
no one in
tank
there
goes on
anyway.
the offensive. The Ukrainians spotted it just in time. The FPV drone appears in the frame. It targets the tank's engine.
Yeah.
After a few seconds, the attack is repeated, this time hitting the turret.
There it goes.
The damaged Russian tank stops.
That's
A third drone.
that's someone in the tank struggling to control it. That's someone who's just been hit, that is. Just like friggin' probably flailing about.
Is already in position. Notice that because the hatches are sealed, the operator targets the tank between the turret and the hull. Here, the armor is thin, and there's ammunition nearby.
Yeah. What a hit. Great
The pressure
hit.
from the ignition forces the hatches open, and powerful flames burst out. As the tank heats up, the flames erupt with renewed force.
Wow.
The tank, worth $3.5 million, is destroyed by 3 drones, costing a total of $1,500.
Wow.
Do you think this would happen with Western tanks? Share your thoughts.
I do think that there are vulnerabilities in all tanks and all vehicles. I do think that. However, I think it's so obvious what the exploitation is on these tanks that it just makes it easier for these drones to get them. I think that's the reality of it. I also think we're seeing this massive shift towards vehicles that are more like the Bradley, where they can just, the rate of fire is just insane compared to stuff. I'm not saying that the Abrams is not as good as a Bradley, because the firepower of an Abrams and the coverage that it can do and the body armor and all that stuff is phenomenal. But when you consider the stats that a Bradley can do and how successful it's doing it, especially with it being able to hold a bunch of lads as well, you can't deny that there's something pretty good about it.
Down in the comments.
United 24 Media.
Now, an attack drone armed with a grenade sets off for its mission.
Off it goes.
And here's another modern Russian tank.
It's empty.
The drone lowers a bit and drops a grenade. Immediately after,
Great shot.
a powerful explosion.
Great shot.
Fire geysers erupt from the tank's openings. The ammunition has exploded.
Yeah, it's abandoned anyway.
Here, we see a more protected target. The Russians have installed EW systems. They've reinforced the turret with mesh.
Yeah, they know what they're doing here now
They've
with the
installed
drones, don't
additional
they?
protection above it. But the experienced operator
Ooh.
manages to throw a grenade into the slightly open hatch.
Wow. Still found a
fire
place
starts
for
inside
it.
the tank. The fire suppression systems are not working.
Yeah.
The only reason why there's no explosion here is because this tank ran out of ammunition when it was hit. Here's another example. The lower armor plate is reinforced with chains, and on the upper plate there's a Soviet star. For luck? The turret has dynamic protection and additional screens. A modular machine gun and EW
Wow.
are also installed. The drone hovers above the tank, then lowers to improve its chances. The grenade has been thrown. And
Boom.
it's a perfect hit.
Get that drone out of there. Great hit.
At first, there's only a slight puff of smoke, but in a moment, the tank catches fire. A powerful flame envelops it,
It's insane that we've got this footage in it.
and the dynamic protection starts
Woo,
to detonate.
there it is.
The heated thermal trap explodes and shoots in all directions.
Sheesh.
The tank has been destroyed.
Wow. It's like a fireworks show,
Now,
isn't
let's
it?
try to understand what happened to this tank. It's maneuvering and firing. Nothing seems to be out of the ordinary.
It looks like it's malfunctioning or something, though. Something's wrong with it.
But then it enters the road, and this happens.
Mine. Yup. That'll
The tank
chafe.
hits a mine.
That'll
and where
chafe.
the Abrams and Leopard would have torn off the tracks, the Russian tank turns into a ball of fire.
Would it, though? Would it have just torn off the tracks? Would it? Great
This
video.
is because of the additional ammunition stored in the tank's bottom, which can detonate in such
Ah.
situations. That's all for today.
Would it have just took the tracks off an Abrams, though? I'd love to know your thoughts in the comments. Do you think Abrams are that much more advanced? I don't know. I'll leave a link down below to the OG video. Check out Morale, my new business, and also check out Chug. We will be back over the weekend with some other videos. Next week, we're going to be playing Battlefield 6, and it looks sick. It looks so good. So if you haven't already, subscribe, turn on notifications, all that good stuff. Other than that, I love you all. Have a wonderful day. Goodbye.